Hey guys, and welcome to Pheas Airsoft, where today I'm going to disassemble this CM077C little AK. Hey guys, and welcome back. So today I'm going to disassemble this CM077C or little tiny AK-74. If you are enjoying my content, please do consider liking and subscribing. It really helps me out. That said, we're going to get started. So hopefully you've recently seen my unboxing of this little beauty that came as part of the big £700 order that my friends put together with me. It's doing illegal FPS, it's doing 420 FPS roughly. It's come with its own downgrade spring. So today I'm going to do a disassembly to show you how I get down to the gearbox to change the spring out. So this is a little bit different from an AK-47 style in that you can't just undo 4 bolts in here, it splits in half and you get this stuff out. Unfortunately, you have to dismantle all of the front end to get the gearbox out. So we'll make a start on that and get going. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lift, that was slightly convenient, the top cover out. There's the top cover release system, which means I can then take the top, slide the top cover back and it just lifts out at the back there. Get rid of that. Next thing I'm going to do is this little handle. I'm just going to rotate it and that allows me to free up that top cover and a little spring, which I'm going to put back on there like that. Keep those together. That helps to retain it in place. Next thing I need to figure out is what size Allen key or hex bolt to get in there to loosen that up. So, is it? Nope, too big. Let's go. Perfect. So that is a size 2 Allen key or hex bolt. So we'll just loosen that off. Just enough that it's loose, and then that should wiggle forward. What's keeping it there? Loosen it further just in case it's still. There we go. So I was faffing a little bit off camera there. This goes quite deep, as you can see there, and then at that point it just slides forward and the handguard comes out quite easy. On some of these models, it just, instead of the little grub screw, it has like a little handle that you just push down and it tightens in like a groove in there. Obviously this one's different hex bolt. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to look to knock this pin out. However, looks like I'm going to have to knock this pin out first. I'm just trying to see where the teeth are. I'm guessing this side. So I'm going to knock this pin out to remove this, and then there's an Allen key screw under here, a little grub screw, to allow me to release the outer barrel out of here, as well as this pin here. So let's get this out of the way first. Perfect. So what I did there was I just used a punch and a little hammer just to knock this out. So the teeth part, the threaded part, was on the right hand side there. So I've knocked it out that way from left over to right. What that does then is it loosens this up, so that moves forward, our front sight block, and it's easily positioned back in because the groove is there that we attach it back into. We've then got an Allen key or hex bolt there, size 2 again, that we just need to loosen out because that screws down to keep that stable, and then we're going to knock this pin out and we should be able to move forward. So again, the threaded part, the teeth, if you will, on this come out from the right hand side, so I've knocked it out from this side so it dropped out the side. This should now allow us to, and it does, move the barrel, maybe the little grub screw needs to come further out. No, keep that safe. There's an extra plate underneath. Now, I've not seen this before. Underneath here, it looks like there's an extra plate that helps, I assume, secure it back in the right place. Lift that out, and that then will slide forward, and in a second I will get the gearbox out and we'll undo the screws to get the inner barrel out. So next thing I want to do is I want to remove the pistol grip. Again, it's a hex bolt, so we're going to have a look what size that is. That's too big. Gets in a size 3, so that is a size 3 in there. No, it's not. Size 4 is too big, so let's try. Oops. So that is a 1/8 bit. I've had to change measurement types. So I'm just going to loosen that out. That comes off, revealing the motor cage. Okay quality motor, nice quality wiring. It's not too bad. Next thing I'm going to do is, this is a cap again. This is really nice. I do like that CYMA have done this and just put a little cap over a proper screw. Maintains the look. I'll get that in a minute. I'll get the it maintains the look but keeps the usefulness of having a threaded screw on the head, because the finger tightened ones just are not very good for me and I've had bad experiences in the past. So now I can easily lift the gearbox up and out, just wiggling it about, obviously keeping these held to the side of the gearbox because this is part of your selector system, and I'm just going to wiggle those out. There is the gearbox, significantly better quality than the budget ones. The blue plastic looks really nice quality as well. Before I get into that, there is the inner barrel and in the outer barrel. So this is screwed in here, which happens in a lot of AKs just to keep it secured in place, making sure it's locked and it's not going to move. Get rid of that screw and that screw. There we go. And then the inner barrel slides out as the outer barrel goes forward and separating them. So nice standard brass barrel. It's actually spotlessly clean down there. I am impressed with that. Some friction to the adjuster, possibly needs a little bit of tightening up so it doesn't jump about. There is a moderate amount of adjustment down there. As you can see, that's fully on and fully off. So there is a little bit of hop already in, even with it fully off. Not necessarily a bad thing, just something to be aware of. But I'm going to leave it as it is, try it how it is, and change this later if I need to. So we'll get rid of that for now. Here's the main thing. So this is part of the fire selector system. So you've got this cam here that links to this plate underneath that is the actual physical safety. So in safe position, which is this, I can't physically pull the trigger, and then we switch to full auto, and then ultimately single shot. Now these teeth should marry up exactly perfectly on here when you're reassembling this. So the first gap should meet the first tooth here, and the same when you go across there. This cam connects through to this side onto the actual selector plate, and these teeth again, if you see, there's like a big tooth, and then the first gap should meet with the first tooth from the blue selector plate. This cam does need to come off to get into the gearbox, so we'll do that now. So I'm going to lift those out of the way, and we'll get started with that. So I'm going to remove this cam now. There is quite thick thread lock on there that may stop. Oh no, we're okay. I did think it was going to stop me getting my screwdriver in, but put that to one side. When you are putting that back on, make sure that the screw side goes on this side, and if you look, hopefully you can tell that it is flat on one side. When it focuses, there we go, and it's slightly inverted on the other side. And when you put the two parts together, they will only go together in one position. It creates the slanted opening for the top of the screw to sit in, so make sure that that lines up. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the plate from the top using a flathead. So I'm just going to get it in there, and I'm just going to pry it off there, and then it should just slide off. Definitely everything so far, definitely feeling a better build quality than the budget AK series that CYMA do. Not that there's anything wrong with those, they are really good quality. This just seems to be better quality. It's generally accepted that the blue plastic is like an upgraded quality plastic, so you know you're getting stronger quality plastic internals. So I'm just going to pop this cover off that there we go, protects the gear inside there, and then all that's left to do is remove the set of screws. Now, as before, these are slightly different in sizes, so it's important that they go back in the correct place. So when you do remove them, please do keep them in the correct order so that you know which screw came from where for reassembly. Now, because the piston's back, more so than usual, I'm going to have to be very careful when putting the screwdriver in the back to hold down the spring guide, because the minute the gearbox is at split, the anti-reversal latch will release all of this and it's going to ping forward, and it could potentially fire parts of the gearbox across my dining room, which is always fun. So, come on, there we go, that's the next one. Two more to go. One more. Now, it is good practice, or I find it's helpful at this stage, to just remove the motor cage, and just hold it over there out of the way. And then I'm just going to very carefully start splitting it. So I've got my fingers on these two parts. I'm just going to push it away from each other. And the minute I can get my screwdriver in, there it goes. I'm going to brace down. There we go. So the piston released, and I can now relatively safely lift that up, release the spring, same strong spring we've seen in the other AEG series from CYMA, and the gear set looks identical, in all honesty, to the budget AK I've got. The blue plastic on the other hand, much better quality by the looks of it. Air seal, still terrible, but shows how strong this spring must be if it's doing 400. But generally quite nice quality in there. Still slightly over greased, but does run quite nicely as well. Looks really well shimmed, actually. I'm quite impressed with that. Just a bog standard gearbox, well made, nice and neat. So I'm going to downgrade this, ready for use when I next go airsofting. I hope this has been helpful to you. If you do need to reassemble this now, just watch the video backwards and it'll talk you back through it all again, I'm sure. I hope this has been helpful. Please do like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.